Hey, what's up guys, Chelsea here, welcome back to more Witcher on the Holy Night. Last time we left off having finished chapter 2, where it finished off with Sojiro running away from a woman in green, who I'm assuming is the one he saw in the park, doing something that mimicked a flamethrower, I guess. And yeah, now on to chapter 3, Nights. I assume this whole chapter will be taking place at night then, if I'm to believe the title of it. Let me tell you how the events of yesterday transpired. Okay, so it's finally telling us, okay. On moonless nights, you must never look back. Okay. Was it a lesson, or was it a warning? It was so very long ago. At the time, I couldn't have imagined what my very being would become. One night, it came without warning. I was filled with an anxiety so heightened that it made me want to burst into tears. So I fled to my grandfather's workshop. This would be Aoko then, right? Grandfather's workshop? Unlike the grandfather I knew, he smiled and kindly placed his hand upon my head. Okay. Yes, the Red Death follows you every step. That's not really an old man voice, but whatever. Rather than consoling me, he sent me home with only those haunting words. Uh-huh. That night, I'm certain that I sensed a shadow lurking behind me. Okay. Something or someone watching me from afar. Then little by little, year by year, it drew closer. Eventually, the presence that once felt like a spot in the horizon grew so close that I could feel its breath down the base of my neck. Of course, it was all in my mind. Oh yeah, of course. When I turned around, nobody was there. But that night marked the beginning. In hindsight, I later understood that the indescribable anxiety I felt was the dread of certain death. Oh, okay. That's great. How much time has passed since that night? Okay, that was like a song similar to what like Alice sings, but it didn't sound like Alice. Or I'm just forgetting what her voice sounded like. But it didn't sound like her, at least to me. It lingered deep in the recesses of my mind where childhood memories are kept. A faded, storybook-esque memory. On dark nights, I still hear the faint echo of my grandfather's words. But no matter how strong the wind may howl, or how entrancing the song of the girl next to me, I could never bury his ominous words completely. Okay. So it's Aoko's next to Alice, and that was Alice singing. I'm assuming. Also, ignore that noise, that was my phone. Okay. The girl beside me said, wait, what's here? I got distracted by my phone. What's here? Alice's inflectionless voice spoke volumes of her role as the bystander. Okay. That night, there was only me and her. It was the night I would mark as the birth of who I am today. For what should have been quite the memorable night, it sure wasn't a promising start. Dense clouds blocked the starlight above like a black umbrella. Strong winds tore through the sky, carrying the heavy clouds with it. The hands on the clock in the middle of the park pointed skyward, as if reaching for the moon. Unfortunately for them, tonight there was no moon to point at. The winter air grew fiercer as the night wore on. Inhaling felt as though it would freeze me from the inside. The air chilled me to the bone, threatening to pass up my spine directly to my brain. To prevent my mind from being paralyzed, and to prevent my fingertips from becoming stone, I sparked a fire using my internal rhythm and emotion. Okay. Transferring tactile feedback to you. Stand up there in the engraved below. What? I'm assuming this is like some like magic stuff. I responded to Alice with a nod. And then, for just a moment, I saw the ground. My legs quivered ever so faintly. I told myself they were shaking from the cold, but I wasn't so sure. In reality, they may not have been numbed by the cold, but by fear. I breathe a sigh of relief. My humanity must still be intact if my emotions are still present. That's a good thing, I'm guessing? Before I could sink into a pool of my own sentimentality, the sensations from the bounded field flowed from Alice into me. Okay. Transparent wall covered the entire park. This is definitely the night, or the previous night from the last chapter where Sojiro saw something, right? It has to be. Like, we're in the park. And like, that's really the only thing I'm going off of is the park. An unrecognizable carpet rooted deep under the earth. Okay, that's trippy. Why is there a fence upside down hanging from the sky? Alice Quanji's chants of the Mother Goose fairy tales permeated the night. The sensations became one with my body. I felt goosebumps on my quivering right arm. Someone had trespassed. Sojiro? Because if he was here, then the goosebumps crept up my right arm like ants. Right? Because if he was passing by the area, he would have set off whatever, you know, alarm the bounded field had, right? And slowly but surely made inroads for my heart, holding back the desire to drive them out. I waited for them to reach a certain definitive position. No. No, you know. It must be something they were waiting for. If she's responding like this, right? I assume. A moonless night. The park's quaint streetlights were not enough to lift the darkness. The ants came to a stop. Far, far from my right arm, they had reached my very heart. Even without the aid of my sense of sight, I could see the intruder lurking in the darkness. What is that? Okay. Let's ignore that and move on. To starboard, in the bushes about 30 steps back on all fours, it was beckoning with its right hand. The enemy's movement and my perception of it were in lockstep. Lockstep? Okay. I spun around. Yeah, okay, serious question. Have they done... has Type Moon or Nasu written, like, a book detailing all of, like, the, like, spell stuff that Magi use in the Nasuverse? Like, I feel like having, like, a lore... like a spell like lore book would do really well among Fate fans. That has to be a thing, right? I'll have to look into that. And if not, they should. I spun around. Okay, Mr. Incredible. With the stretchy arms. The enemy's arm outstretched like a spear. Mr. Incredible with a blade? No, that's just his arm, I think. This lethal weapon, aimed at the back of my head, brushed my hair at breakneck speed. Huh. With the omniscient view granted by Alice's ward, I managed to avoid it by the skin of my teeth. Okay, if this is a test for Aoko, right? Wouldn't relying on like a ward buff that's from Alice be kind of like cheating? Almost, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how this works. Okay, so that's a doll, like a living doll of some sort. Like those were like doll joints. My hair fanned through the air from the violence of the attack. Wait, no. I'm not gonna say anything, but I think I know who that woman in green was. And it wasn't who I thought it was. Well, or maybe who I thought it was and who I'm currently thinking it is are one and the same. They could be. But yeah, I'll just keep that in the back burner for now. And yeah, okay. My hair fanned through the air from the violence of the attack. An attack grazed my cheek and I felt a small, sharp pain. It felt like the kiss of death. Whew. I'm so glad I figured out how to get rid of the text on screen. So I can just have like screenshots. This is so nice. I switched the flow of my body's blood to a different cycle. The blood running through my veins at a few feet per second transmuted into an imaginary element. My body became a single circuit and my heart transformed into a completely different engine. An unknowable motion of immeasurable heat. A mystic yet untapped by humankind that made me who I am. The fire of life behind all miracles and fables. This is what we mages call magical energy. Oh, okay. Okay.
Setto.
I turned around, set the enemy in my sights, and held up one hand. A lot of this, like, magic terminology, I'm just like, I don't really have much to say about. My arm was the agent of my will. My lack of experience meant my magecraft would only be possible with the use of vocalizations and gestures. Which puts you at a bit of a disadvantage, I assume. Magical formulae. Wait, yeah. Cause, like, yeah, okay, so it's kind of like Shiro. Shiro, like, when he initially, like, activates, right, he has to say trace on. But, like, I think in the visual novel, no, Rin didn't have to do that, right? I don't think she did. I know Ilya didn't. I remember Ilya just, like, casting shit without saying shit. But, yeah, huh. Magical formulae were engraved all over the park. That's handy. All I had to do was ignite them. I needed to direct the flow of the magical energy within my body into each formula. Typically, a mage acts as a conduit. Whether wired or wireless, the mage simply pours magical energy into the formula, Okay. Releasing this energy in the form of a projectile, stream, or any number of other methods would usually suffice. But in my case, it was the feeling of my limbs whipping out. Okay, so for her to... She has to whip her arm to launch the magic?
Moira!
I fought speed with speed. Yeah? Sure. The enemy's arm, extended 10 feet forward, became engulfed in flames. It was nighttime at the park. Wait, oh, wait! So, okay. So Sojiro says he saw someone basically use a flamethrower in the park. So he saw Aoko. But obviously he was too far away or something for him to know it was Aoko. But then why was he scared of the woman in green? Because now the things I thought I was putting together have been like unraveled. So hold up, wait. What the fuck? I thought I was like putting pieces together about like who, okay. I mean, okay, to be fair, when he told that story to Tobimaru, I was like, well, Alice or Aoko said she was gonna be in the park. Like Alice told Aoko that, you know, the park was hers. So I was like, okay, well maybe he saw Aoko. But then with like the woman in green and him being scared of, and Sojiro being scared of the woman in green, that kind of threw me off, because then I was like, okay, did he see this woman in green? Was she the one who did it? But now it's like, seemed like that's not the, definitely not the case, because he definitely saw Aoko. Unless these are two different events, but I don't think it is. And okay, I think I didn't even read that text, but whatever. The flame subsided just as unnaturally as it had ignited. Okay. No crackling, no burning smell.
結界返すわ。死体を確認するから。
Oh, so the tactile feedback was okay. I see. It was the bounded field. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't put that together like immediately. I got it now. After telling this to Alice, I headed toward the motionless figure. I killed it. Regardless of who my opponent was, I just took someone's life. That looked like a doll to me. But yeah, sure. My throat parched. I swallowed the truth that without this sense of reality, I would have been helpless. So hard and bitter, impossible to swallow, but I tried to anyway. I was unnervingly calm. My heart pounded and my breath felt heavy, but my mind was nonetheless calm. By the time I realized it, the charred remains were already in front of me. Bracing for a counterattack, I carefully examined the corpse. Everything seemed fine. This body lying slumped to the ground was nothing but ash.
Huh?
What? But something wasn't right. To begin with, its remains didn't smell organic. Probably because it was a doll. Not willing to believe my hunch, I took a step closer at the corpse's face. Or what? I just fucked that up so bad. I took a closer look at the corpse's face, not I took a step closer. What the fuck? Why did I read it? Like, why did I think there was a step in there? I don't know. I took a closer look at the corpse's face. All that greeted me was the featureless white face of a mannequin. Huh.
ちくしょう、またやられた。
And Alice probably noticed already. And it's like, about damn time. Screaming, I kicked the mannequin. The corpse crumbled to ash and disappeared with the wind. No, this was no corpse. This was just a puppet, and for all our efforts to lure the master out, we had once again been tricked by a familiar. Okay, so obviously the woman in green, right, is the one controlling these, obviously the things we saw in 1.5, and then this thing here, this mannequin. And I think I don't know though, because I thought, I don't know. I've been thrown for a loop, so I'm not entirely sure anymore. We'd once again been tricked by a familiar. My debut. My first test out in the open would be postponed for another day.
いつになったら一人前にって。あれ？
What? Why the shocked face? Or surprised, I guess. Oh, did she spot Sojiro? At that moment, I suddenly noticed something familiar in the corner of my eye. Something seemed strange about the slide on the other end of the park. It appeared as though its shadow were larger than it should be. Yeah, because there's a whole ass, like, 17-year-old teenage boy there. Was I still drunk on the high of battle? No. It took me a second to realize what it was. Shiboy. Calling out was a mistake. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. Startled by my voice, the figure, wearing a familiar high school uniform, took a step back and then it broke into a sprint. Yeah. Like someone running for their life. I mean, after witnessing you torch what was they probably assume is a human. Yeah, no, fair enough. I would probably get the fuck out too, or I would 100% get the fuck out. Like, I would not want to stick around and find out what you're gonna do to me if I were them. Or should I say he was doing exactly that? Yeah.
追いかけて、見られた。
In a rush, I shouted to my partner, but she hadn't even noticed the third party's presence in the first place. How? Because should okay, as Magi, shouldn't y'all have more spatial awareness? Whatever. Though it wasn't as if I could move by myself. Embarrassingly, the fight had taken more out of me than I'd have liked.
ダメ、逃げられる。捕まえて始末しないと。
Good luck with that. Yeah. Well, you know, I got nothing. I was gonna say, there's a high likelihood that, you know, forget it. Never mind. It was dumb. The thought I had was very dumb. Just forget about it. There was no time for niceties. For us, being seen here was a matter of life and death. Yeah. Shaking off the numbness in my legs, I made for the park's exit. I mean, Sojiro works a lot. He's you know, he's pretty fit. You know, I don't think I can catch him. I had to admire his escape. The witness, party to the entire night's proceedings, had disappeared into the darkness of the residential district without a trace. You know what, though? How did the bounded field not catch him? Right? Like, it gave warning to when the mannequin came into it, so how did they not notice through the, like how did I guess because Alice transferred it to Aoko. How did Aoko not notice there was another presence? Like, was she just too engaged with the mannequin to notice it, or that has to be it, right? Or is there something special about Sojiro? Like, is that why she's so off put by him? Does like he like not register as far as like like magical like detect? I don't know. It's definitely it feels weird that she didn't notice him though, and I feel as if that's part of the reason why she's off put by him. I don't see any other reason why not. Like, obviously right here she doesn't know who he is, like who it is that saw her, but I don't know, that's my guess, is like for some reason he's not like, he doesn't register as far as like mages are concerned. I don't know I don't know how to like properly vocalize what I'm trying to say. Anyway, witnessed entire night's proceedings disappeared into the darkness of the residential district without a trace. That's what I'm saying. Complaining to myself. That has to be, again, he must just like throw off like magic, like mages for some reason. That has to be it. I don't know. Complaining to myself wouldn't bring back the figure in uniform. Bitter at my own incompetence, I gave up the chase. Though temporary, the park had become Alice's woods. For anyone within a few feet of the park, other park goers' identifiable features and voices became murky, like the stuff of fairy tales. Tonight's proceedings may have had a witness, but if our identities were still hidden, then this was still a chance. You were looking at his behind then. I'm kidding. She probably just noticed like the broader shoulders. I returned to the park. That uniform was without a doubt from my high school. Yeah. That was clue enough. If he was a schoolmate of mine, I had plenty of methods to flush him out. Yeah. Amidst my grumbling, I set my priorities straight. Before some strange rumors spread, I needed to seal the witness's mouth shut. That was the highest priority. Quickly and without mercy. Right. Definitely. For sure. Looking up, I saw Alice's previously distant figure. Though she was in as much trouble as I was with her existence as a Magus also exposed, she had but one thing to say. Yeah, a little bit. You could definitely make that assertion. Her statue-like figure staring into the darkness seemed more expressionless than calm. Okay, yeah, so she's schooling her features. I was pissed off. Her inscrutable voice resembled the moonless night so much it made me angry. Yeah, I guess. That was a fast chapter. It said nights, so I thought it'd be like multiple nights, but no, it's just the one. Okay. I guess I'll end off there. That was chapter 3, nights. And yeah, like I said, I thought I was kind of figuring things out at the very beginning of this, and then no, I don't know what's happening. I I still have an idea of maybe who the lady in green was. I'm questioning it now though, because it wouldn't really make sense with the two things we saw in 1.5 that Alice fought. So I don't really... I'm just not sure. But, you know, there's plenty more of the game to come, so I imagine which... I don't know. I don't know. I'll either figure it out sometime in the next few chapters, hopefully, or her identity will get exposed to us before I figure it out. Either way, we'll find out, but yeah. That's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, next time I'll see y'all for chapter 4. Blues in Her Name. Later.